Welcome, everyone, to Youth and Virtual Relationships in the Time of COVID-19. This is a 10-minute video for parents and teens to watch together about the do's and don'ts of virtual relationships during COVID-19. We'll be covering basic communication tips for virtual relationships, some internet safety issues to know about, and some considerations for dating during a pandemic. This video is brought to you by the Compass Center and Orange County Rape Crisis Center. Are you stuck at home? Do you miss your friends? Do you need to see your bae? You are not alone. For those of us who have access to the internet, we've moved a lot of our social interaction online. Social media, texting, video chats, online classes, you name it. Sex, relationships, and dating online and during COVID can be vastly different than in person. So can friendships and family relationships. So this is Leslie,
Sierra, and
Haley
from the Compass Center and Orange County Rape Crisis Center, here with 10 tips for how to stay sane and stay safe while connecting to your besties and your boos online.
First, we're going to share a few basic communication tips for using text and social media during the pandemic, because everything we know is looking a little bit different right now. The first is don't say anything online you wouldn't say in person. Communication through text and social media can feel really different because you can't see the person. For some of us, this can be a relief because we feel less nervous about saying what we mean. For others, this makes them feel empowered to say things that are mean. As a general rule, it's important to both be yourself and not use social media as a way to be hurtful to others. The second tip is remember that everything online is public and permanent. Public means that anyone can see it. Even sites that feel private like Snapchat or Instagram aren't really. People can like, share, or screenshot something you posted, which makes it easier for other people to see it too. Permanent means that you can't truly delete something once it's out there online. You might be able to take it down from your page, but once others have shared it, you can't get those copies back. The third tip is be mindful and give grace. So it's harder to get your point across via text, so be mindful of how your words are being interpreted, but don't be afraid to ask for clarification. On the flip side of that, try to give people grace and put yourself in their shoes if they say something that comes off as short or confusing. We're all dealing with a lot right now, and that definitely impacts the way we communicate. We also don't get to see each other's body language or hear anyone's tone, so there's a lot of information we're missing.
next we're going to talk about how to stay safe online. Tip number 4, avoid putting personal information online. This includes your address or the address of other friends. This also includes schedules, like your parents' work schedules or when you'll be home alone, or when your entire family will be out. You also want to avoid putting things like passwords or answers to security questions online. This information is meant to be kept private, so you want to be sure to keep that safe. Number 5, there may be times that you feel safe online, maybe because of the things that someone has said to you or has asked you. If this happens, there are precautions that you can take. All social media platforms have a block feature. Use this to prevent unwanted contact. Instagram specifically also has a feature where you can remove a follower if someone you previously thought was safe turns out to no longer be safe. They won't be notified if you remove them. Lastly, your parents are a resource. Reach out to them and let them know if you feel unsafe online. They can help you brainstorm ways to protect your safety. Tip number 6, be mindful of who you're talking to and where you're talking. This is a great time to catch up with friends virtually, but you want to make sure that you're talking to who you intend to talk to. Also, be cautious about chat rooms. Some are designed specifically for adults and may include adult content. Double check that you are in a virtual space that you actually want to be in and that you feel safe in.
Our last 4 tips specifically have to do with dating. Maybe you're interested in someone in school and you're super bummed that you can't make moves, or maybe you're feeling the pain of being separated from your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your partner. We feel you, and we've got some tips. Tip number 7 is show them you care creatively. There are so many ways to show that you care for and or love someone that can be done remotely or socially distanced. These can include writing a love letter, using snail mail. You could have a virtual date, dress up nice, light a candle, and chat away, over Zoom, of course. Go for a socially distanced walk. 6 feet apart can't stop the winks, the flirty looks, or those great feelings you get just being around your crush. You could buy them their favorite food and have it delivered to their front door. I don't know about you, but the way to my heart is definitely through food. Send them a song that reminds you of them, or even better, write or sing them a song. There's nothing more romantic than a song written for you. Not musical? That's all right. Write a poem. Use this time to get to know each other. Chat back and forth, or play a game of 20 questions. Alternate who asks questions and grow a stronger relationship while you're at it. You could also take a bike ride together. The CDC says being outdoors is okay, so let's do it. Just stay 6 feet apart, people. And dare I say, you could even make each other a mask. But don't be like these people. Please stay 6 feet apart. Tip number 8 is be wary of the sexting laws. Sexting, or sending naked photos or naughty texts with your partner, can seem fun, especially during this time of social distancing. No risk for COVID, no risk of sexually transmitted infections. I should be good to go, right? Not exactly. In North Carolina, did you know that it's considered a felon to create, share, or keep sexually explicit images of people under the age of 18? The government actually considers this child pornography, and you could get in a lot of trouble for it, even if it's just between you and your boo. Remember, there are lots of ways to show you care. Remember our last tip? That don't involve the risk of becoming a felon. Tip number 9 is know the COVID safe sex guidelines. Unfortunately, sex with folks not in your immediate quarantine is not super safe right now. However, the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene has offered some excellent guidance on safer sex during these times. The first is you are your safest sex partner. Masturbation, or touching your genitals for pleasure, will not spread COVID-19 and can be done safely if it's something you're into and it aligns with your values. Also, kissing can transmit COVID-19. Unfortunately, so can cuddling, so be aware of the risk. Washing up before and after sex is more important than ever. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, and be sure to disinfect anything that you share with others. And you might just want to skip sex if you and your partner isn't feeling well. Let's not spread this thing any more than it already is. Still missing connection? Check out step number 7 again for other ways to show you can care. And our final dating tip for you is, use this time to talk it out. This quarantine does give us an excellent chance to set up our relationships in ways that are consensual, communicative, and satisfying. So if you have a special someone, chat about your expectations for your relationship and for sexual activity. Chat about things you want to do and hope to do with your boo during and after quarantine. You could chat about safe sex, contraception, and sexually transmitted infections. And even if you're not in a relationship currently, you can take this time to think through boundaries you want to have with people you're chatting with online. Remember sexting in tip number 8 and all the internet safety tips? Use this time to talk it out. So there you have it, 10 tips for staying sane and staying safe in your virtual relationships during COVID-19. We encourage you to take a few minutes to chat with your parent using the worksheet accompanying this video. Although it may not seem like it, your parents are great resources for this kind of stuff: relationships, sex, and health. Fight against the awkward, take a risk, and talk it out. Thanks so much for joining.